Now these ones tend to cause people a bit of trouble. Differentiating y equals x. Now we'd like to multiply everything by the power of x. Well, there's apparently no power there. But if you remember, x is the same as x to the power 1. So if we differentiate that, multiply everything by 1, so that's 1x. Bring the power down by 1, so 1 take 1 is 0. We've got 1 times x to the 0, and anything to the power 0 is 1, so 1 times 1 is 1. So if we have something along the lines of y equals 5x, all you'd have to do is remember that that's to the power 1. dy dx would therefore be 1x to the power nothing. Don't forget we've got to multiply that by 5, which is 5x to the power nothing, which is the same as 5 times 1 is 5. And we have here another problem, y equals 7, dy dx. We want to be able to have a power of x. Well, here's a little bit of a tricky one. X to the power nothing is 1. 7 times 1 is the original 7. So as we try to differentiate this one, we immediately get 0 times x to the minus 1. And we're timesing that by 7. Well, anything times by 0 is nothing. So any number, just a number without the x, when you differentiate it, gives you an answer of 0. Which, if you think about the graph y equals 7, here's my amazing quick drawing. The graph of y equals 7 is just a straight horizontal line. It has no gradient because it's flat. So your job is to differentiate y equals 11x and also to differentiate y equals 11. So two separate questions there, y equals 11x and also differentiate y equals 11. Off you go, press pause. Now, did you get them right? Y equals 11x. Remember, that's x to the power 1. So when we differentiate that, we get, because we're doing all the steps here, 1x to the power nothing times 11, which is 11x to the power nothing. X to the power nothing is 1. That's 11 times 1 equals 11. I'm presuming that when you do this, you won't do all these steps in between. You'll just go, ooh, differentiate 11x. That gives me an answer of 11. And on to our friend y equals 11. There's no x there, so when differentiating with respect to x, we need to put x to the 0 in. So that would give me 0x to the power minus 1 when I'm differentiating x to the power nothing, times by 11. Anything times by nothing is a big fat nothing.